Okay, podcast 3. We're talking about mainstream music.
Either complaints or reports you enjoy about it.
Yes.
Mostly complaints.
Complaints or, yeah. Okay, we'll start in 3, 2, 1.
Oh no! That was a great harmony, guys. I gotta shake your guys' hands on this one.
I have one hand. Jay.
Hey!
We already did.
Who cares? Ah!
Anyway.
Okay, this really proves how random these podcasts really are.
Yeah. Oh, Lathan, you gotta watch making you gotta make a funny face because I'm gonna zoom and play some nice music on it. Yeah, like that.
Pass some of that popcorn over there, man.
We should put it in the middle.
We don't have a table in the middle, but anyway, guys.
Invisible table.
Popcorn, the greatest thing on the planet.
We have popcorns because we need discussion. It's good.
We're not sponsored by Dr. Pepper. We proudly support it.
Proudly support it. Yep.
Proudly.
I don't sponsor myself.
As we say, whoring.
Just the one.
All right,
Try not to burp.
Okay.
All right.
I guess to start off, what today artists in the mainstream is everybody listening to, like top guy you're listening to.
I don't want to start. I can't start. Let's let Brad start because he's the new guy. Hey, new guy!
New guy!
Yeah, we got guests here. Brad.
The other new guy.
Let you start with your music.
Like, what about it? Exactly.
Mainstream music that you enjoy.
You're gonna need to define
Like a
mainstream,
guilty
actually.
pleasure song that's not in your normal genre of music. That's a better word to call it. Guilty pleasure kind of.
Oh, you want to know a guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Music.
Well,
Live.
yeah, I know. Okay.
Can we put this somewhere?
Just you said it right there.
Well, got a couple, I guess.
We'll name them off.
Stay frame.
I mean, they're. I don't know if most people would call them mainstream or not now, but probably the first one that's going to be the most surprising is the Backstreet Boys.
Fair enough.
I remember
Yeah.
you told me that.
Yes.
How long have they been around? Like,
Oh God. At least the
Early
90s.
90s, easy.
I remember that. That's what I listened to as a little kid.
would they be considered mainstream or?
They just made a comeback album, so I think a lot of people liked it, so I think they could be considered mainstream.
Okay.
What about somebody post 2000? That's That's part of the mainstream. That's more specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't excuse the band playing in the background. There's a big thing going on at our college right now. It's rather...
Yeah, and it's.
Yeah. College stuff, you just have to deal with it.
I will get in a recording contest with you.
And there's people outside doors.
Shout out to the guy outside. Hey!
Hey! Podcast.
Just so we know, if there's a random person who walks in the door, we always give a shout out to the guy outside.
It's one of the tradition now. Tradition.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for post 2000s, I guess just how people view them, they've kind of gotten to become like more guilty pleasure artists for most people is Black Veil Brides.
That's still good. That's
No, I'm not saying that they're bad. I mean, I'm just saying I like them.
Okay, I
but
like them too.
I know.
I do too.
I know. But it just seems like there's a lot of people though that
It's a love or you hate him kind of thing.
It
That's
pretty
really
much
what it
is.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people give them love.
I mean, the thing is, I can also see where people I can see why people give them crap. It's easy. It's not that hard to see. It's really not.
What is it? Because I really...
I mean, I'm not saying
they're not a guilty pleasure thing for me, so that's...
Okay.
I want to hear from someone who thinks
I
it's
can't
a
really call
guilty
them
pleasure.
a guilty pleasure, but just like with the stereotype that... Well, not the stereotype, but just the stigma that people give them, they kind of got into... I mean, just for most people, it is a guilty pleasure now, just because of the stigma most everyone else gives them. But excuse me, I tried to muffle. But it seems like what most people don't like about them is like, first of all, their presence, I guess. Like, it's a very much of the glam metal from the '80s kind of.
And yet, it still works really well for them, though.
Yeah,
It does. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't. But
And
I
you can wear that stuff out.
I know, but I mean, I'm just saying though. It's just some people don't like that, and I mean, we already know how much crap the '80s got for it.
I know.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Jay, why are you putting the... And this is the reason why you don't put an Asian near a bunch of keys.
I was playing piano.
But yeah, I probably my understanding of why people give them a lot of crap is because like I saw them at the Golden God Awards, or I saw them on the Golden God Awards. I think
Oh, that was a
last-
great... It was
last
last year? It was
year?
last year. Because this year...
Yeah. It was last year, but they got on stage, and of course a lot of people were booing him. And
I mean, they got songs...
after one of the guys like, well, I thank all our fans and all that stuff. Then Andy just grabs the mic and just like starts cussing out the audience. And
Well,
talking
because,
about-
I mean, you kind of have to understand where they're going from. I mean, if what it really is with the Golden Gods, you've even heard them say it, too. Most of the people there are Metallica fans, and if someone not that kind of style usually wins it, then it's basically like a riot there.
I mean, whenever they were naming off the nominees, like a whole lot of people were cheering for the Death Clock song. That was.
We're not gonna name it because it's not the most child friendly.
I'm not going to just name it at all. But it
But
involves.
look it up. Look it up. I mean,
But
look
it-
up the Golden Gods for 2013 if you want to
Yeah.
figure out what we're talking about.
Half of Death Clock's
That's-
songs
that's-
aren't child appropriate.
Neither is the show.
Oh, but it's an amazing show.
It is a great show.
Anyways, off topic.
Yeah.
That's where this podcast usually goes, man.
Yeah.
I guess probably for me, somebody from mainstream, I've been listening to a heck of a lot of the Black Keys lately, especially with the El Camino album. That's like, I do like Black Veil Brides. I do like a lot of other people that came out like since 2000. But just if you, I'm kind of naming off somebody.
I'm really
that's,
sad right now.
Like really, that's actually been on the charts, like really high up. Like I think they've had a stream of #1 hits. I think, but they won a couple Grammys for El Camino. That's like one of my favorite albums because there's not a single song I don't like on that album. I've listened to Lonely Boy probably a good 126 times, probably 127. I don't know, but it's just the way they play it, and just the way they reintroduce the blues to the mainstream instead of doing what John Mayer did. No offense to John Mayer, I don't listen to his music, but he's a great guitar player though. Still,
He is.
nothing but respect. But with the Black Keys though, they reintroduced the blues.
Like the Southern Mississippi, the Southern...
Yeah,
Jay?
something like that. but Black Keys, they've given blues a whole new amount of popularity and put them right back at where it should be, up on the top 10 and stuff like that. So that's me though. So there's my group.
I don't really have a guilty pleasure though, because most of the people that have seen my music playlist, it's very diverse, but I listen to it all. I don't really have a guilty pleasure. I don't usually deny anything in my playlist. I mean,
in reality,
my reality really goes from, I have everything from, I've downloaded this for my sister, I have everything from One Direction to Suicide Silence and Fear Factory. It's very diverse in my music library. But I've listened to a lot more. I listen to a little bit, as much as I won't deny it. I really don't mind listening to like some of the new upcoming guys like Kendrick Lamar, and you've heard my thing about this, like Kendrick Lamar, and some of the guys who now becoming more mainstream with the Tech Nine's labels in particular. That's my main kind of, not really guilty pleasure, but just that album label in particular is more of my main thing anymore.
Well, one thing I gotta say, just like about the idea of guilty pleasures overall, there really shouldn't be any. regardless of like what kind of music it is. I mean, we have to say guilty pleasure now just because people give that kind of a stigma towards certain artists. But in reality, guilty pleasure shouldn't really exist. If you like someone, you like them. You don't have to hide it. It shouldn't be something you have to worry about.
I mean, before I came down here, I was wearing a Motionless in White t-shirt, and I know you're not a Motionless in White fan.
Well, not the new stuff. At least not from.
I have.
what
It's
saw
like
in the
it's like a
video.
Creatures album shirt, but
See, I still don't know much about them, but I think that's around when I was introduced to them, and I like kind of that era. But just like with what they got.
oh, with the
with the
new album with like America and stuff like that on it. You don't like that one? as much?
I didn't like that too much.
I
You
like.
gotta admit though, the video is actually pretty good though.
It is a.
Like the song, lyric wise, and the music video are actually pretty awesome. Cause I like it though. Just
I've
because
seen
it's-
it all before.
Oh, yeah,
I've seen
like,
all of that before.
Clown directed it though.
That's great for him, but I mean, it's just I've seen all that kind of stuff before. It's nothing new, nothing really that
Well,
exciting.
Yeah.
It's just a drastic change for them, and I think for the worse.
Oh yeah, God.
I'm not gonna say no to that because I used to that I'm still kind of a fan of Falling in Reverse, specifically from first album. But then the new album came out.
I can't listen to it. I
Yeah,
really
like, new album came out, and I'm just like, what?
like a guilty pleasure for me used to be
Yes.
I used to like Blood on the Dance Floor, but I don't really deny it anymore because
I like them.
yeah.
My girlfriend actually turned me on to them.
I listened to one of their albums and I'm like, okay, this is okay, but none of my that's really kind of like what guilty pleasure for that.
I got a couple. All right,
Jay,
you.
as you've been out of the frame the entire like 10 minutes that we've been on the air.
Hi. So I heard you guys talk about these things. Not to be totally off, but I don't listen to modern music.
You listen to a lot of electronic. That's most of modern music is.
I
anymore.
mean,
it's either
it's
rap or
not-
electronic. That's
I
really
mean,
what
It is
Electronic's
modern,
really-
but I don't.
electronic's
You know, like
really
a
starting-
mainstream, like a pop. You know, Katy Perry.
No. I mean, that's not the one. But electronic actually is becoming a lot more mainstream. Like dubs, like just the whole electronic genre without
I
having.
mean,
the
I'm not
actual
talking about
singing.
the like official. I mean, bass hunters and headhunters and.
No, the
Skrillex-
Headhunters is definitely
Skrillex-
not mainstream.
Yeah,
here in the
Skrillex,
States.
Tiesto, something like that.
Zed,
You know?
stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely mainstream E EDM.
I mean, I love them too, but like, I usually more aim on just random YouTuber making music.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I've been listening when I've been hanging out with him a lot more. I've been listening to. He's been getting into a lot of the rock songs I've been listening to. Like I've been playing Five Finger Death Punch with him.
Oh, nice.
In the car.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, those things I get into, but something I get really into, like, just close my eyes and just one of those random YouTube. I mean,
like Christina Grimmie and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's something weird.
Who's now on The Voice, even though she has 2 albums already out.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. Oppan Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady.
Okay, let's stop there.
Aww, random dance party over.
Yeah, but always a good song.
Yes.
That's a great song.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Back to the topic. I
Wait.
love listening to electronics, dubstep, random hardcore songs. Something like that. But,
I got another good question. Like, favorite underrated artist
I can give you mine right now.
from any.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's post
I have two.
2000
I have two.
before
Bass
2000,
under
some-
now?
all around.
Dude, I don't like Bass Hunter. I told you this. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Underrated artists. Like, what's yours?
I have 2. I have one is a DJ from Belgium, which is Headhunters, which he was referencing, and the Paramedic, which I've showed you, which I really, 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 really like their style. They're very Asking Alexandria-ish, which is
I'm not a
not a
fan
good
of it.
idea to reference, but that's really how they play.
Hi.
But I like it. It's more.
Yeah,
Back in frame.
it's close.
What about you?
Psycho Stick.
Yes. I had a
Humor
feeling
core.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean,
But even
I
though-
don't know if it's really that they're underrated. It's just they're not known that well. Is
Well,
what I
I
think.
would consider them underrated because they made a stream of.
Oh no, I mean, they're very good. It's just, I just don't think it's like more. I don't think it's like the fact that people consider them underrated. It's just more that they just don't have exposure.
Right.
What
I
about you?
just
that's
love
just-
talking to the microphone like this.
As we're blocking out Latham again, one more time.
Wow.
Wait,
Oh no, Latham getting blocked. Oh no!
get out of the way! Sorry, I messed up the Asian flip now. Sorry.
For me, like I to like.
I want to be in a frame too.
I know it's just like you're. Anyway, there's two that I actually like. One, they're one of my favorite bands, Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Yes, those guys are great though.
Yes, they are very great. They're very underrated. They've had only like I think one or two radio hits, but that's about it though. But they weren't played as much. You tell them the song, you play somebody the song, they're not gonna like most people. Won't
We might,
recognize it.
if you're up for it, we can probably link some of our guys that are not really well known into the YouTube comments
Yeah.
so people
Yes,
can find out
let's
about
give
them.
them more exposure. Let's help them out. And then second one.
They're not going to get
is-
much exposure, but because we go to this channel, maybe
Hey,
gets what.
every bit helps, but
Yeah, really.
second is a group from Finland called the 69 Eyes. And they've been around for over 20 years. They're a gothic rock band.
69 highs.
Shut up.
He started it.
Oh, 60. Oh, I just got it. 69.
Congratulations, Jay.
But only way I can describe how they sound, it's like, and they even say this, they're vampire. If Elvis was a vampire, that would be their music.
This
Pretty
part is
much.
always not
Sing-
working.
And a lot of people would call Yerky 69, the singer, as a gothic Elvis, pretty much. So, those are my two.
We'll raise your drink.
MSI.
We'll raise a drink to you guys.
To MSI and to the 69 Eyes.
I don't know. I don't want to break your guys' dreams, but my favorite artist is DJ PON-3,
Yes.
as known as DJ Pony.
Like,
Because he's a since
I will give
I
you
know
a
this.
song. It's my favorite song. When I fly on an airplane, this is favorite song. When I come to America, it takes it's a really long flight, 18 hours and 20 hours flight. I listen to this over and over, never get bored. Especially when you take off.
Yeah.
I showed you that. I showed you that song on that Hard with Style. That was a perfect song for flying.
Yeah, I mean, I got this too. It's actually she. I think it's she because I saw a few details about the channel and I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but
Anyway,
I have a
shout out
feeling
to
it's-
them.
yeah.
You know,
DJ Pony is awesome. Yeah, I sometimes get inspiration from her.
listen to MSI.
Yeah.
Listen to the 69 Eyes.
Psycho.
Psycho Sting.
I've already given my spiel, so I'm good. Spiels.
Yeah.
Spiel.
Podcast has passed 22 minutes, but I just
Final thoughts, guys. As usual, as we always ask our final thoughts.
Final thoughts. But we just okay. Let's
Which is
one
really-
by one. Let's go by. Give us a critic about just general general.
And this podcast is ruined in the last 20 minutes.
Your general
Beep,
idea
beep,
that
beep.
how do you think about just how the music is rolling around the world? How do you think how the music, the universe of music, how's it going around? Just give
It's
us
very
a
more
comment.
closed-minded anymore. That's what I've really realized. It's
Most
not.
of it's crap. That's what I gotta say.
It is extremely. What it really is more or less that it's like with you, like what happened with I was talking to you. I listened to your rap group, and you're like, I'm not a rock guy. I mean, like a rap guy. I don't like rap or anything. I don't. There's not a lot of rap. You know how it's a very closed-minded thing anymore, and it's just like what happened to all the openness that happened that happened a long time ago. It's really closed-minded anymore, and you can see that too.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though about all of that. A long time ago, when everyone was actually open-minded about music and everything, music wasn't a business. It was an art, literally. Yes, people were getting money from it, but it was an art in it. It wasn't a thing just like a get rich quick kind of deal like it is now. That's why we have a lot of crappy pop artists.
Then the 80s rolled around.
I mean, no offense to fans out there, but Justin Bieber. I mean,
he sucks.
His song is not hard to make. I mean, I'm a computer sound designer, but it's not hard. It's okay.
Heck, I can.
They should deport him back to Canada.
You basically
That's not going to get rid of him.
Let's go.
They should keep him out of America now.
It's done.
I love how you just start playing out Get Lucky.
Yeah. You know, something like that. You just make the song in a spot.
It's not
and
hard
you
to
get
write.
millions and millions of dollars out of it. I mean,
And meanwhile, you have those guys who have been in the industry for 10 plus years, and they don't even get they barely play small shows in bars.
I mean,
And one guy can bang his head on a keyboard, or in the way of Kesha, play her thing on a keyboard, and she makes her big pop songs. I found this in an article. It's a real common thing. You can actually look up a Kesha interview where she actually talks about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it's not surprising. I mean, a lot of it's just kind of how the music business has actually changed. Like, it actually changed from focusing around being an art to just being a business. And businesses that sell have a good look. That's what really a lot of these artists are now. Is that they are popular because of how they look. Justin Bieber, yeah, he was popular because he looked like he had a look that a lot of young girls liked.
Yeah, I feel like.
And then Kesha, I mean, she's just kind of stupidly outrageous, but I mean, that's
She's not a non-attractive woman. She is without all of her crazy glamour and stuff like that. She's not.
But that's how she.
Her album covers
that's how
are very
she got
deceiving.
big, though. That's how she got big, though. Was her really outrageous and stupid look. Like that's how.
It's
she
better
grew
when
up.
it's better when people start growing up, and no, we're not talking about Justin Bieber with his grow up thing from going from little cheesy pop songs to how he is now. No, he has never really grown up from his industry. No,
No,
I'm
he's
saying
always
the
been a
artists
little
who
brat.
have those groups who wear like example people who wear a lot of face paint when they play, and then they'll get rid of it as
There's
like a
a
growing.
difference between the stage and.
oh yeah, talking about face paint, don't paint your face black.
Blackfacing is illegal still.
Well, it's not illegal, but I mean.
It's
like,
It's
highly
very-
frowned upon.
yeah, very frowned upon. Yes. Especially like here in America, and just because of course.
Just about anyone who's been
Yeah.
to school will know about our history and how crappy we are.
We're not the best.
I'm pretty sure all the Justin Bieber and Kesha fans are gonna dislike my videos now.
Who cares? It's
To be honest, how many do you think are actually going to be watching your videos?
Sure.
exactly unless we
just
somehow.
the nature of those
You're
fans. Is all I'm
starting
saying.
to tag them, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you know how you start watching one thing on YouTube and then end up getting to something completely
And then you end up in
different
the weird
5
side.
hours later.
And then you're in the weird
Yeah,
side
it's
of
happened
YouTube, and
several
no one wants to go
times.
back over there.
Yeah,
That's happened several times to me.
exactly. You can wander across anything, no matter where you start.
I can be.
Yeah,
really-
the thing is,
But yeah.
I mean, music wise, as a musician, I don't hate or adore stuff. I just digest it as a music and just enjoy.
Oh
it.
yeah,
I mean,
It's-
music is meant to be entertainment, not
really, it's
a life.
And now it's just more like
entertainment
that's
and
more
art.
like
That's
a-
what
Now,
music is.
yeah,
It's
now
just
it's just
who wants to make money, and I don't care what your kind of music you like because
Yeah.
this music's better than this. It's
Yep.
if
that's
you look nice and you can sing well, you
Money
can
and
dance well, you
elitism.
can go make music, you can get some money and get.
and that's the reason why shows like American Idol and The Voice have come out, and
Yep.
it's been no comment on that one. That's another
the
podcast, guys.
purity of music has been deleted.
That's another podcast. Is on those voice shows, guys.
Yeah, I can go off on that.
Yeah.
We'll have you in for another time, and then that's the topic we'll talk about.
Okay.
Or we can.
I
Or we'll
will
have.
say this: they need to bring Simon Cowell back on American. Idol.
They're too nice now. Wait, dude. We should bring in Kevin for that one because he watches it a lot more than we do.
Oh man.
Alright then. Guess we'll end the podcast with the signature move. 1,
In 3,
2,
2,
1.
1. No! Wow, this is the first time the new guy actually got the intro ending right.
Just because you showed me the old podcast.
True.
See you guys.
Hey,
See ya.
bye.